Good afternoon, everyone. I am Gailjan Eminiano, and together with my groupmate Michael Tina Elga, we are here to discuss our assigned topic, which is the time value of money.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Tina Elga and I am the one who report the determinants of interest rates and measurement of interest rate. So, let's understand the key determinants of interest rate. There are multiple factors that influence the level of interest rate in an economy as highlighted as the following. So the first one is the global interest rates. The central banks usually set the interest rate in line with the global trends. In case interest rates are going up globally, the central bank prepares to raise the cash rate in order to retain global competitiveness in attracting foreign funds. Similarly, higher interest rates are also used as a tool to attract overseas capital from investors and influence the country's exchange rate. So the second one is the money demand and money supply. Interest rates are primarily driven by the demand and supply for money in an economy. If at any given cash rate, the demand for funds exceeds the supply of funds, the interest rates typically rise and vice versa. Balance the money supply and demand dynamics. So the third one is the inflation. Inflation, one of the most important macroeconomic indicators. Inflation is closely monitored by central bank to decide on interest rate movements. In fact, interest rate is often used by monetary authorities as a tool to control inflation and establish balance in an economy. If the level of inflation is high in an economy, central bank prepares to raise the interest rate so as to increase the cost of borrowings. This process makes the borrowing expensive, keeps a check on demand, and controls the money supply, thereby bringing inflation in the target range. And the last one is the government borrowings. At times, when the government expenditures supposes its revenue resulting in a fiscal deficit, the government resort to borrowing from the central bank. These factors drive interest rates at a broader level. The rate charged by individual banks on consumer borrowings or loans depends on several other factors as well, including credit score, loan to value, loan size, credit history, debt ratio, employment type, length of loan, available documentation. Measurement of interest rate. So interest rate formula. Using the interest rate formula, we get the interest rate, which is the percentage of the principal amount charged by the lender or bank to the borrower for the use of its assets or money for a specific time period. The rate a bank pays to its depositors for keeping money in a savings account. Recurring deposit or fixed deposit is also termed as the interest rate, and in this section we will discuss the interest rate formula. So what is interest rate formula? The interest rate formula helps in calculating the amount of money to be repaid towards a loan taken and the interest over the investment on fixed deposits, mutual funds, and etc. The interest rate formula also helps in calculating the interest on credit cards. The interest rate for a given amount on simple interest can be calculated by the following formula. So interest rate is equal to simple interest times 100 is divided by principal times time. So the interest rate for a given amount on compound interest can be calculated by the following formula. Compound interest rate is equal to P times 1 plus I times T minus P, where the P is the principal amount, the I or R is the rate of interest, T is the time period. So let's move on to the example of interest rate using the formula. So the first example is if Sam lends $5,000 to his friends and received $6,000 after a year. Using the interest rate formula, find out what interest rate did Sam lend the amount to his friend. Solution. The principal amount is the 5,000 which is given in the example. The simple interest which is the 6,000 minus 5,000 is equal to 1,000, and the time is 1 year. So using the interest rate formula is interest rate equals simple interest times 100 divided by principal times time. So the interest rate is the simple interest is 1,000 times 100 divided by 5,000 times 1, which is 1 year. So the interest rate is the 20,000%. Therefore, Sam will take a 20,000 interest rate from his friend in a year.
Concept of time value of money. So what is the time value of money? The time value of money, TVM, is the concept that the sum of money is worth more now than the same sum will be at a future date due to its earnings potential in the interim. This is a core principle of finance. A sum of money in the hand has greater value than the same sum to be paid in the future. The time value of money is also referred to as a present discount value. So, why is the time value of money important? The concept of the time value of money can help guide investment decisions. For instance, suppose an investor can choose between two projects, Project A and Project B. They are identical except the Project A promises a $1 million cash payout in 1 year, whereas Project B offers a $1 million cash payout in year 5. So, kani siyang example is sa time value of money. So, supposedly daw kuno si Project A ay si investor gipapili og duha ka project, which is Project A and Project B. So, same ra jud daw kuno sila with nga hatagan sila og 1 million cash payout except sa time sila naglahi. Kay si Project A gipromisean siya og $1 million cash payout in 1 year. Then si Project B is gipromisean siya og 1 million cash payout sa 5 years. So di gid siya equal kay si 1 million ay si Project A kay mas kuan gid siya, mas dako siya og present value kay ang gipromise ay is $1 million payout every 1 million payout sa 1 year lang. Then si Project B is $1 million payout sa 5 years. So kung both sabton mas dako og value ni si Project A kay mas dali man niya makuha ang $1 million payout. So, ang formula sa time value of money is future value of money equals unahon ni nato kuha ang ang I, which is the interest rate, divided by N, which is the number of compounding periods per year. So after makuha na nimo i-plus din nimo sa there is a 1. So next is imo siyang kuhaon ang exponent niya, which is the n number of compounding periods per year times t number of years. So, human nimo ana din aya pa din nimo siya i-times sa present value of money. Time value of money examples. Assume if a sum of $10,000 is invested for 1 year at 10% interest compounded annually. The future value of money is, so dinhi na nato makuha ang magamit ang formula sa time value of money. So future value of money is equal to $11,000. So makuha ni nato siya sa pag-una og kuhaan ni interest rate divided by number of compounding year per year. So yung interest rate is 10% divided by 1, which is the number of compounding periods per year. Ano to? 0.1 times 1 ay divided by 1 is 0.1. Human niya na is imo siyang i-plus sa 1. Then para makuha ang exponent imo sa ni siyang i-multiply. So 1, so diri siya n times t, number of compounding years times number of years. So pareho sila 1 kay annually man siya, then 1 year ra po dayon. So siyang kwaon 1 times 1 equals 1. So 1.1 to the exponent of 1 is 1.1 gyapon. Pag makuha na din nimo sila tanan dere is imo na din ning times sa present value of money, which is $10,000. $10,000 times 1.1. So dinhi mo ni siya pagkuha sa future value of money, $11,000. So next example is the formula can be rearranged to find the value of the future sum in the present day dollars. For example, the present day dollar amount compounded annually at 7% interest, that would be worth $5,000 1 year from today is, so kani siya nga example is gipuli niya si ato na pong gipangitaon is ang present value of money. So ang given is ang future value of money, then number of compounding periods per year, then ang number of years and interest rate. So solve na pud nato. Una si 7%, 0.07 divided by 1, 0.07. Then kuhaon na po din nato, o i-plus na po din nato siya sa 1 to the exponent of 1. So 1.07 i-divide din nato siya dayon. Kung makuha na din yung tanan same ra gyapon, pero divide na siya, di na siya multiplication. Divided 1.07 $5,000 divided by 1.07. So mo ni nakuha na nato ang $4,673. So the effect of compounding periods on future value. The number of compounding periods has a dramatic effect on the TVM calculations. Taking the $10,000 example above, if the number of compounding periods is increased to quarterly, monthly, or daily, the ending future value calculations are. So atong gikuha ang example nga katong sa taas nga $10,000 daw kuno. So mo ni siyang kuan murag formula sa compounding periods. So quarterly is ang gipulihan ra niya is 4 kay mao man na siya ang meaning sa quarterly is 4 years. So 4 then 1 ra din siya diri. So sa monthly is 12 kay 12 months is equal to 1 year. Then daily is 365 since 365 days is equal to 1 year. Simple interest and compound interest. Interest is the cost of borrowing money where the borrower pays a fee to the lender for the loan. The interest, typically expressed as a percentage, can be either simple or compounded. Simple interest is based on the principal amount of a loan deposit. In contrast, compound interest is based on the principal amount and the interest that accumulates on it every period. Simple interest is calculated only on the principal amount of a loan or deposit, so it is easier to determine that compound interest than compound interest. So first is simple interest. Simple interest is the interest calculated on the principal portion of a loan or the original contribution to a savings account. Simple interest does not compound, meaning that an account holder will only gain interest on the principal and the borrower will never have to pay interest on the interest already accrued. So mo ni siyang kuan po dayon formula sa simple interest. P times R times N, where P is the principal amount, R is the annual interest rate, and N is the term of loan in years. So generally, simple interest paid or received over a certain period is a fixed percentage of the principal amount that was borrowed or lent. For example, say a student obtains a simple interest loan to pay 1 year of college tuition, which costs $18,000, and the annual interest rate on the loan is 6%. The student repays the loan over 3 years. The amount of simple interest is, so gamito nato ang formula, which is P times R times N. So ato ang principal amount is ang $18,000 times annual interest, which is 6%, so 0.06 times nabayaran niya term of loan in years, nabayaran niyang loan 3 years, equals $3,240. So na rin total amount paid is 18,000, which is the principal amount, plus ang kuanda yon, ang simple interest, which is the 3,240. Yang nabayaran tanan is $21,240. Compound interest. Compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit, or in other words, interest on interest. It is the result of reinvesting interest rather than paying it out, so that interest is then in the next period is then earned on the principal sum plus previously accumulated interest. Compound interest accrues and is added to the accumulated interest of previous periods. It includes interest on interest. In other words, the formula for compound interest is, so muna siya ang formula ni compound interest. So para masabtan na example, for example, if you deposit $1,000 in an account that pays 1% annual interest, you'd earn $10 in interest after a year. So thanks to compound interest, in year 2 you'd earn 1% on 1,010 dollars, the principal plus the interest, or $10.10 in interest payouts for the year. So sa compound interest kuno, if makuha na nimo ang interest, ang annual interest nimo sa imong gi-deposit nga $10,000, which is ang annual interest is $10. So on the next year daw kuno, katong $10 is ma-add up dito sa imong principal amount. So nahimo nag 10,010 imong principal amount. Then on the next year dayon, ay on the next interest payout dayon is imuhang makuha is $10.10 na siya, kay imuhang principal amount is 10,010 naman, 1,010 naman pod. So na-add up ra siya. So thank you.